The Made in Germany exhibition is ongoing at the Shanghai Center of Photography. It presents an overview of German photography from the 1850s to the present. My colleague Chen Xuan takes a look at the opening show.
Works are grouped together as a series of important moments in German photography through the course of 160 years. These moments give specific focus to techniques, styles, and content.
Well, it's good to have you here, Karen. Karen is the artistic director of SCôP. Karen, we know that SCôP has been holding a lot of exhibitions lately. So why particularly Made in Germany exhibition for Shanghai now?
This is a very good survey of work from a country that's made a very big contribution towards photography. Germany, of course, is known as an industrial powerhouse, and actually we know a number of very important brands, cameras, lenses that have been developed in Germany, but of course there's a whole history of very important photographers. So we have an opportunity to bring a little bit of history, something that people might not know.
So shall we start from these architects?
Prior to the mid-1800s, Germany was actually many different states under many different organizations. And when Germany became like one unified place, people became very proud of the new buildings that were identifying this era. So you have buildings here like the university, the opera house, the Brandenburg Gates, memorials that really were showing what everybody was anticipating was going to be the increasingly wonderful future of Germany. When you have the old cameras, where they were using the very big format glass negative, you know, how do you transfer that negative image onto your paper? And in those days, you know, this is not the convenience of the dark room that we think about today. So this man, who was originally a printmaker, developed one of the earliest ways of being able to transfer the image from the glass plate onto the paper. And what's particularly interesting about this paper is that he was using rice paper. This was actually when there was a lot of trade with China, with Japan. We know that Van Gogh, we know that like Lautrec, all of these artists were being inspired by some of the prints they were seeing that were coming from Japan.
And that's why it looks like a painting. It doesn't feel like a photo,
It actually has this quality of almost being like a drawing.
Oh, these are all portraits.
These are taken by a woman photographer in East Germany. By the 1950s, 60s, 70s, there was beginning to be a difference because Western Germany was developing and Eastern Germany was still a little bit behind. So she did the whole series of workers looking at the lives of the women workers in the factories. These workers are not unhappy, but they're a little bit, to use the Chinese expression, a little bit "I may," a little bit non-committal, we might say.
The Bauhaus style is one of the exhibition's highlights. It was founded by architect Walter Gropius in 1919. His vision was to create a total work of art encompassing architecture, industrial design, and the fine arts.
This is a very dark room.
So what we have in this room is a collection of works from the Bauhaus. So here we can see There are works that are like rayograms, which are just, you know, exposures to light. We've got negative prints, and also combinations of negatives where you have a photograph that's been taken and then people drawing on it. We have to remember that 100 years ago, you know, people weren't used to seeing the world in this way, and it was very new and unusual in those times.
Well, this looks quite different than almost like comparison.
This is produced by a couple called Bernd and Hilde Becher, and they are probably the most well-known contemporary photographers in Germany, and the reason being that they were teachers at a school in Düsseldorf. So a lot of the other examples, the photographers in this last part of the exhibition, were their students. These are water towers, and they would travel all over the country taking photographs of different examples. So in a way it's like an archival record of a period of time. So they were both looking at something that was common but perhaps not very loved. I mean, you know, we don't think these things maybe would be very beautiful, although now it's already past, you know, maybe 40 years, so they have their charm for the era.